Alright guys, somebody made note of how high my string action was, and yeah, it's a little high. Let's see, we can get this in the camera. Alright, let's see, turn it around. I measured my current string height. Oh, that's not working very well. Anyway, on the low side, it's 0234 using this cheap Harbor Freight digital caliper, and on the high side it's 0.116. But I had some buzz happening, and I can live with some buzz, but I was trying to eliminate some at the time, and I need to readjust the truss rod a little bit. I've done this before, but it's been a good year, and I thought, why not do this live? So I'm gonna add a little bit of relief, but just to see what we're gonna do here. Let's see. This feeler gauge is, you can't see it. It's 0.010, and so my digital readout says it's 0.9, which is almost the same. There it is. That's what it is. So I know my gauge is pretty close. And I was reading on a Rickenbacker forum saying your bass side should be at 0.003 and your treble side almost flat or at 0.001. So in order to measure that, I've got this piece of paper, and this piece of paper measures at 0.003. So I've got the capo up here on the top, and so let's see which fret that they said. Usually it's a 7th. Yeah, 7th. 5, 6, 7. And so I'm going to hold down the string up here by the bridge, so we're being held down in both places. And when I stick this in here, I can feel it grabbing that string. So we know that we're very flat. I have no relief whatsoever. So what we're going to do now, excuse me, I've got the cover off here, and I'm going to add a little bit of relief to these truss rods. And so this is a 1/4 little bitty socket. So I'm going to get that on there. And just for the record, these chips were from the factory. I didn't do that. All right, so once I've got that in there, I found the best way is just to build on it and stick that in there like that, and then put this other one up here on top. Let's get to this a little better. And so I'm going to release this about a 1/4 turn. Also, while we're doing that, just for curiosity, I'm going to measure the G string at that same fret and see what it's doing. So it's 5, 6, 7, 35, 7, 7's here. Stupid thing. Okay, yeah, it's grabbing a little bit here, but this is 0.003, and this, they're saying this string should be 0.001, so that could be pretty close, but I'm going to go ahead and loosen that side just a little bit since we're here. And like I said, it's hard to move this whole setup from one rod to the other. It's best to take it apart and move them piece at a time. And he's not wanting to come off of there. Let's see, it's wiggling a little bit. There it comes. Come on. There we go. Get him back on there. And let's loosen this about 1/8. And at this point, I didn't measure the E string after I gave the low side a turn, so I'm going to do that now. I'm holding the E string down here by the bridge. And I'm not feeling that drag on there anymore, so I do have some relief now. Maybe too much, I'm not sure. It's not much in the fender realm. Let's see, this is a 0.010, and it's still grabbing on that, so I know it's less than that. This sticker I think is about 0.05, and it's grabbing on that just barely. So let's see what this thing is. That's 0.008, so we know we're less than that, so we could be around 0.006 ish. But since we're here, we got the cover off. Oh, let's measure the other side while we're here. Now that we loosen that up, this is the high side now. Let's see. I'm not feeling anything on that side, so we may have gone a little too far with that side. But it is catching with this. So we'll tighten them both up just a little bit. I probably did about 1/8 of a turn on the high side, so we'll tighten it up just a little. And then we'll do the same on the low side. All right, let's see what we had. What happened? Go back to the 7th fret. We'll try the treble side first. So we're not catching there still. Let's see what's happening on the E string. And that still feels pretty loose. This is a little bit thicker. It catches. And that definitely catches. So we're getting there. We just need to go a little more, I think. A little bit tighter. Loosens just a hair too much. So that just a little bit. Oh, look, that came off that time. And on the back on the treble side, tighten that just a little bit, and we'll measure it again. See, now that's catching. So, and this is 0.003. And let's see, that's still not catching. So we're still moving pretty good there. So since that G string was catching pretty good. I'm gonna loosen this one just a little, and now I'm gonna go back to the low side and tighten it just a little bit more. Not much at all though. Now let's see, back at the 7th fret. Yeah, it feels better. It's catching, but not much friction. For the high side, we'll probably leave that there. On the low side, it's still pretty loose. I don't feel any friction whatsoever, so I'm gonna tighten that a little more. All right, let's see what happens now. Now I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel a little friction there. So, let's see. Yeah. We're gonna try that. See where we are with that. So we'll take this guy off of here. Now, originally I did file this nut. So for curiosity's sake, let's see what it's at. It's more than that thickest one I've got. So let's double it up. This is a 35 and a 32. That would make it somewhere in the neighborhood of 70, and I can't get it under there, so it's less than that. So let's try a 28 with a 26, and I can get it under there. So let's try a 28 and a 30, and it just barely fits. So I filed this E string down to, what is it? That's 58.058. What did I do on the G string side? Can't get that in, so it's definitely less. Let's see if the 30 fits under there. It does. So let's try. What does that say? 25 and 26 together. Oh, there's 3 together in there. Hang on. And oh, that just barely doesn't. Oh yeah, it just creeps under there. So the G is at 0.051 for information's sake. All right, so I'm going to pull that off of there. The tools always have a habit of disappearing. So the next thing that I'm going to do is turn the camera off and then reevaluate my bridge string height adjustments and see where the buzzing stops, and then take some measurements. Well, that's what you do with the see, this is a 2015 4003, so the truss rod's a lot more agreeable than the old guys. And we'll see on the side. All right, so I guess we'll call this part 2. So when I started out measuring with this caliper, putting it right here and measuring the top of this string to the top of the fret, the E's, we were at 0.234, and then I ended up at 0.117 after the adjustment. And then for the G, we started at 0.179, and now I'm at 0.114. And on top of that, with this little gauge, currently it's set for 2:30 seconds, which would be 4/64. So if I put that right here, it's just right there. So my G string is basically at 4/64, which is a standard Fender setup to some degree, just because that's all I got to go by. And now my E string is a little higher than that. It's more at about 6/64 because there's a little bit sticking out down there. And if I adjust it, it would disappear. It's hard to show this. Anyway, so playing down here at the top of the neck, really. Say if we're gonna, that'd be F sharp and G sharp. What was that? B and C sharp. If I hit those and walk that pattern up, got a little bit. You see, I'm hitting hard. I'm being hard on it, and I hear the buzz. But I mean, I'm really low. Now, if I'm gentle, I don't hear any buzz, which is how I've had it set up before in the past. So I'm pretty much in that range where I started at. But I tend to be a hard player sometimes, but I can live with buzz as long as it's equally distributed. And a lot of times I'll use a big, thick, heavy pick. I was doing fingers at then, but if I do that pick and I'm gentle, and then there's not a lot of buzz. Any buzz is coming from me being careless. Now if I'm a little heavier, I get a little bit, but that's expected. That's real heavy. But that's acceptable in my book. And since there's really no rules anyway, it's all up to the user what they want to do. And so I think that's about as low as I can go, and then have it do what it needs to do. If I went any lower than this, it'd be kind of ludicrous anyway, because I think that's about as much as you can do. Now another thing that I'll do with these pickups, I think they call these the high gain pickups, and what I'll actually do to help adjust it, other than just hearing what each string is doing and how it sounds, I'll actually load it up into Audacity. I'll take the bass and plug it directly into the mixer, and then I've got the mixer going into the PC, and I'll measure the amplitude of the wave in Audacity for each string and each note, basically, and then I'll adjust these to kind of equalize the amplitude of the string. Same with the bridge. You isolate each one and then do each one, and then do them together and see if they're pretty much together. You know, it takes discipline. No, I mean, you can't expect to hit one hard and another soft. You got to hit them all with the same intensity, and that's a good way to adjust your output using Audacity to see what your waveforms are actually doing. Now, I mean, if we were in the Fender realm, I would take this thing and set it on a 1/4 inch. Let's see, that's a 1/4 inch right there, and then I would stick this under the string and on top of the pickup and actually adjust it to match that. all the way across. But not so much with the Rick. For me, it's more about what the waveforms are doing on Audacity. But anyway, hope that helps. If you are like things differently, then that's good too. But this is just kind of how I prefer it. And I guess that's it for now.